In every man's life, there comes a choice between two paths. One, a path full of darkness and treachery. The other, a path that is bright and playful. But what the man doesn't realize is that he must either suffer through the pain and treachery while on the path to success, or suffer through the pain and darkness at the end of the path to failure. So, I was scrolling through the internet and I've noticed that there's a huge problem on the internet. And there's actually two that I'm going to talk about today because while I was scrolling through my For You page for YouTube or whatever, I saw this video that says exercise scientist breaks down John Cena's routine. And if anybody has ever seen John Cena before, they know damn well that he does not need no breakdown on his routine. Because, you look at the guy, he is jacked in places you didn't even know you had muscles. He's got abs on abs. He's got every single vein in his body popping out. Is it steroids? It's possible. Let's be honest, it's possible. But I'm not going to say anything about that. My point is that one real big problem with the internet is that they have become way overly critical. You have people breaking down the routines of the best people in the world and finding what's wrong with them. Do you not see what I'm seeing? This man is literally like one of the most jacked people on the planet. And you guys are like, oh, this is what he does wrong. Well, clearly he's doing something right too if he's that jacked. And that's a huge problem with the internet. Everybody is so overcritical of everything and everyone. Sometimes you just need someone who helps you up because, it talks about it a lot. Some people, they need to stick. They need to be whacked in the behind and say they're doing something wrong for them to get forward and push. But if you're a true, good, high-value person, a lot of the times what you're going to need is you're going to need the carrot. You're going to need that extra incentive and motivation. And when you post something online and somebody begins breaking it down, telling you what's doing wrong, sure, maybe they're trying to help you, but sometimes they're way too overly critical. And they keep, they break down in such micro things that don't matter. But, something that I've seen is that people are actually scared. They're scared to post things on the internet because they're worried that instead of the people will judge them, people are going to judge them. And why have we created such a toxic community on the internet that people are scared to post things because they know that people will judge them? How terrible is that? I was scared to post videos because I was afraid that people were going to judge me because I'm still relatively new to self-improvement. I haven't been on it for a decade. Like most of the self-improvement YouTubers, I've been on it for 1 or 2 years. So I was afraid that people were going to judge me, say that my muscles weren't big enough, that I didn't know what I was talking about. And luckily, my community has been extremely supportive. And, a lot of the comments I get are all supportive. And that's what we need to spread around the whole internet. Because this internet is advertised as a place where we can share our ideas and, communicate with people and have conversations, have fun. But a lot of the times people are scared to do that because they're worried that people will judge them and bully them. And I want you guys to spread the positivity and wholesomeness that you guys have here, because I've been called out in my comment section before. I had my cursing video that was a whole thing. I've had one about, talking about how bad YouTubers are when I'm trying to become one of them. And, I get called out in my comment section for things that I do wrong. But I also have so many comments that, they're super wholesome. They're telling me about how I help them. And that makes me so happy to see people like that in my comment section. So One thing is that I want you guys to spread positivity on the internet. Don't spread anything hateful on the internet. But also, don't be scared to give people criticism if they need it. The second problem is that a lot of the times, all across like the whole internet, there's this idea of, oh, just trust me, bro. Nowadays, you have a witness influencer that's definitely on steroids who's, walking up to the camera and advertising his cheat day and what he eats in a day. And then, he flexes his muscles. He's like, oh, yeah, trust me, bro, I'm huge. So you can eat like me and still get huge. And when in reality, he's blasting gear. He doesn't probably eat like that. And people start to have this extremist mentality. They think that only the most extreme ideas on the internet, you know, get through, which ends up with, the fitness influencers going like this, like, oh yeah, I'm so huge, and then showing you that they eat fried chicken and donuts and jelly beans and cereal. And then so many kids follow that advice because, they see the guy flexing like this and their muscles are huge and like, dang, he must know what he's talking about. And then, they ruin their 5 years and they're like, dang. We've become so ingrained where we listen to these people that, oh yeah, just trust me, bro, because they look big, they look smart. And I talked about this in my video about how we shouldn't trust self-improvement YouTubers. Don't follow the plan of one person. Never follow advice of one person of alone. Maybe it works, but don't follow it like it's gospel, like it's the Bible. Find other people. Try and find corroboration between sources. And if that was such a big word for you, corroboration means that two or three things, maybe more, they say the same thing, you know? So maybe you find a video talking about a carnivore diet, and then you find Andrew Tate talking about it, and then you find Hamza talking about it, and then you find Kenny Bender talking about the carnivore diet. Then maybe there's something you should try there with the carnivore diet, as a lot of people share the same continuity with it. But if you see one guy talking about, oh yeah, I eat donuts and I eat fried chicken and I eat cereal and I eat candy and I still look like this and you can too, and then he flexes. Well, maybe something's off because one, he's gonna die at 50 because he's eating all this junk, and two, he's probably blasting gear. Like you're never gonna be able to look like the people who are absolutely blasting gear if you're not going to do that. So don't expect to be like that. And honestly, if you know that somebody's blasting gear, don't follow their advice unless it's someone super wholesome like Noel Dezo. He's like, everybody knows he's on steroids, but he does have a lot of good advice. You can follow his training advice, but take it with a grain of salt. Take everything you see on the internet with a grain of salt because our whole what's it called? Our whole community has been kind of sucked up into the oh yeah, trust me, bro kind of epidemic where we just trust anybody if they look credible enough without doing any extra research, and that can kind of ruin you in a lot of ways. So please don't trust somebody with all of your life. Find different sources, research it a little bit, and try it out for yourself. If it doesn't work, don't keep doing it. Okay? Just promise that for me. Thank you. All right. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Hope this video helped. I love you. Bye bye.